insect that likes to bite you in the face, leave poop behind, and in that poop is a parasite that can spread through your whole body. And if it's not treated early, it can lead to heart failure and damage your other organs. Hi, I'm Alice Benjamin, family nurse practitioner and NBC medical contributor, here to talk to you about Chagas disease, an illness many people haven't heard of, but one that's showing up more often here in the US. Chagas is caused by a parasite called the Trypanosoma cruzi, carried by the kissing bug, also called the triatomine bug. Now, when it bites, it poops, and that's how the parasites get into the body and spread through the bloodstream. The danger is beyond the bite site. The parasite travels through our blood, settles into the heart, causing rhythm problems, heart failure, even damage to our digestive system over time. Now, early symptoms can be vague. It can look like the flu, fever, fatigue, and body aches, but one of the more distinctive signs is swelling around the eye called the Ramona sign if the parasite gets in near the eye. The problem is these early symptoms can usually fade, so people think that they're fine, but the parasite often hides and tucks itself away in the heart and the other organs and causes silent damage over the years. Now, this is why people don't realize that they've been infected until serious health problems develop. Now, in the US, the risk of getting Chagas disease is low, but it is real. We've had locally acquired cases, meaning people were infected here in at least 8 states, including California and Texas. The spread is usually from bug to human, but it can also pass from mother to baby. And while it used to be a concern with blood transfusion, all donated blood here is now screened, so that risk is extremely low. Now, if someone's diagnosed, how are they treated? Well, there are anti-parasitic medications that work best in the early stage of infection before the parasite causes lasting damage. Children and young adults respond especially well, but really the sooner anyone is treated, the better the results, because once it's in its chronic stage, you can't fully cure or clear the parasite. So the treatment then shifts to protecting the heart and managing complications, and that's why early testing is so important. In the US, the CDC and the state health departments are tracking kissing bug and Chagas disease. Researchers are studying where the bugs are found, how often they carry the parasite, and ways to improve screening. Now, for you, the public, the best step is awareness, knowing what these bugs look like. Protect your home, seal up your cracks, use window screens, keep outdoor lights dim since they are attracted to light, keep your pet bedding and kennels clean, and avoid letting your pets sleep outdoors where bugs can hide. And if you believe you have symptoms, please get seen. The more we talk about it, the better we can prevent future cases. I'm Nurse Alice. For more health news, follow me here on NBCLA. Or the parasite causes lasting damage. Children and young adults respond especially well, but really the sooner anyone is treated, the better the results, because once it's in its chronic stage, you can't fully cure or clear the parasite. So the treatment then shifts to protecting the heart and managing complications, and that's why early testing is so important. In the US, the CDC and the state health departments are tracking kissing bug and Chagas disease. Researchers are studying where the bugs are found, how often they carry the parasite, and ways to improve screening. Now, for you, the public, the best step is awareness, knowing what these bugs look like. Protect your home, seal up your cracks, use window screens, keep outdoor lights dim since they are attracted to light, keep your pet bedding and kennels clean, and avoid letting your pets sleep outdoors where bugs can hide. And if you believe you have symptoms, please get seen. The more we talk about it, the better we can prevent future cases. I'm Nurse Alice. For more health news, follow me here on NBCLA.
All right, Shalom.
Here.
First and foremost, I want to give all praise and honors and all glories to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shalom, Hakadosh. Double honors to my elders and my apostles, the great millstone. They're doing you well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the members of the elect, the hopeful elect, and the 1/3 to USA Shalom. This is Brother Dawada from GMSC Troy Camp, coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shalom, Hakadosh. Today I want to do another in transit. Title of this video will be The Heavenly Father is Plaguing Babylon. All right, or it'll be entitled The Heavenly Father is Plaguing Egypt Again. And always will this video be edifying. Now, you know, you saw the opening clip concerning this bug, parasite, whatever you want to call it. Basically, what's going on is, it's plaguing Babylon. And, as we get closer and closer to the end, these things are going to become increasingly common. Even to the point where, it's going to be evident that it's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that is doing it. All right, so now what you have going on is people talking about this plague, and there's been many other plagues that have been going out. Recently, a few years ago, they were talking about the whole, the bubonic plague that somehow resurfaced. Of course, about the Karagamuffin, and all these other different plagues that have been spread out over the years. Like you have that one, the H to the 1 to the N to the 1. you know, and there was the other one. You know, there's so many different, you know, plagues and pestilences that have been out there, you know, and, you know, as we get closer to the end, it's going to be even more, it's going to get worse, right? You got people thinking that it's going to get better. No, it's going to get worse, you know? When you watch a lot of these different post-apocalyptic TV shows or movies, that's one of the main things that they show you, right? They show you that there's some disease that has spread and it's wiped out a lot of people. You know, a great point is, or a great series to reference is the Resident Evil series. Another good one is the Last of Us. All right. What's another good one? The Walking Dead. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was a virus, if I'm not mistaken, that triggered the events of The Walking Dead, if I'm not mistaken. You know, you have the series, or rather the movie Contagion. You know, all these different movies and series that show you some type of, you know, biological, you know, event taking place, and now people are sick. You know, and now people are sick, and it's only, and they don't put that out there for nothing. All right, that is written in 2 Corinthians 2:11. All right, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, so we know how Satan get down. We know how Esau Edom get down. All right, we know about his problem, reaction, solution, and we also know about his predictive programming. You have certain of these jakes that get upset because we, you know, make reference to different movies and, you know, different things like that we see, and they get upset. Why you always talking about these movies? Well, that's how Esau gets down. He gets down through his predictive programming. Ezekiel, the 28th chapter. All right, he has that God complex. Ezekiel 28, Isaiah 14. All right, Isaiah 47. Esau has this God complex. He wants to be as the Most High. Now, the Most High, before he does anything, he declares it. That's what Esau wants to be able to do. So he tries to do that by way of his media. So he puts it out there and show you, like, hey, look, you know, there's a possibility we might just do this. You know, we you know, different things like that. And then when it happens, people are, oh my goodness, we saw this in this movie. Because he's trying to be like the Most High. All right? But yeah, we see these different things and we know, okay, you know, it's released another season of The Last of Us and it's showing how people are going to turn on each other. Oh, okay. You know, and it's almost crazy, as they say. You know, over the last few years, the post-apocalyptic series and movies, they've been picking up. It's been more and more common, you know, with these post-apocalyptic type movies, and even these movies showing, you know, fatal deletions, you know, or some crazy deletions. That's been ramping up. Well, definitely within those times. All right, times when the Lord is going to just close the curtain on this place, and Esau Edom is going to be as a mad man, sparing none. And best believe he has these different viruses and, you know, substances out there that he's been cooking up and experimenting with that he wants to get down with. Psalm 64. You know, it says that that they conduct a diligent search. So these devils, they're diligent. They be on that. They be looking up things and doing different tests, you know, experiments, if you will. You know, and they're gonna use it. They're gonna show forth their horns. All right, they're gonna show forth their horns, and they, you know, in the minds of these elites, they put the information out there by way of their media. You know, that there's going to be some type of, or there could be rather, some type of biological event taking place. You know, we saw a glimpse of it during the C-19. You know, him shutting down everything. You know, this crazy pestilence that was, you know, taking people, you know, to the spirit realm. That was just a trial run. Okay, it's only gonna. This thing's getting worse. The Lord, he smote Egypt with 10 plagues, and the Lord said in 2 Ezra 15 and he would smite Egypt with plagues as before. Now, that's not talking about over there within Africa, all right? He smote them with plagues back then, but he's going to smite the modern Egypt with plagues right now, currently, in this day and age, all right? And that's what we're seeing. That's exactly what we're seeing. Another great plague is the whole locust thing. That's been a topic. You know, it comes, it goes, it comes, it goes, with these locusts causing problems with the crops, you know, consuming the crops. There's going to be a famine too. The Lord's going to break, you know, you got that saying Pandora. Pandora literally means all doors. You know, so the Lord's going to let open all the doors. You know, all hell is going to break loose. The S to the H to the I to the T is going to hit the fan. Now, recently I watched this movie called Eden. I highly recommend it. You know, and it shows you how people will behave when there's a scarcity of resources and when there's no order, no laws to go by. People just turn on each other. You know, and it should still be in theaters. You know, but I highly recommend it. You know, because we're within these times. It's over with. You know, these devils, they want their agenda reached by 2030. You know, by 2030, we're in damn near 2026. You know, you got DJ Trump. He's bringing hell on the Northern Kingdom with the ice cubes. You know, you got to use hip talk. You know, and then with the Southern Kingdom, what's he doing in the Southern Kingdom? Well, he has the National Guard to get you jakes together. You know, recently, Trump's been talking about deploying them to Chicago. He claimed that Chicago is worse than Afghanistan and worse than any place that you can think of in terms of violence. So I said, what? And people just eat it up. They don't question it because it comes from their president. You know, so he's bringing hell upon Jake, and it's only going to get worse. I want to emphasize that. It's only going to get worse. Okay? The Lord is going to strip this place of what makes America so-called great. Its military is going to be stripped when the Lord comes back. All right? This healthcare system that people rave about, which is nothing compared to what they have overseas. You know? People love running straight to the medicine cabinet. Oh, I'm got to give me my meds. You know, they're quick to do it. Even if it's a common cold, first thing that they do is pop a pill, drink some medicine. You know, Lord's going to take away these people's health by way of these pestilences, by way of these plagues. Then it's going to be over with. Then it's going to be over with. All right? As a spirit, you know, ambulances and fire truck, you know, and guess what? The Lord said that the fire is sent, and who is he that shall quench it? Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua sending forth the plagues, and they will not be turned back. You know, roughly paraphrasing. So, the Lord gonna get down even more so. And who's gonna try and stop him? The Lord said that in Isaiah 14. I will work, and who will let it? All right. Or rather, is that 14? I think it's Isaiah 14. You know, I will work, and who will let it? Meaning, who's gonna stop me? All right, ain't nobody gonna stop Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua from totally collapsing America. All right, he's gonna hit this place of fire with that final plague. This is nothing. Even when Esau, you know, leashes these pestilences, you know, that's gonna be nothing compared to the final pestilence, which is that Zechariah 14 and 12. And when that takes place, it's over with. There ain't going to be no fire extinguisher powerful enough to put out that fire. No water cold enough to quench that fire. All right? The Lord's going to just burn it up and leave nothing. All right? The Lord's going to leave nothing. All right? There's going to be nothing here but just sand. You know? There's going to be a big-ass desert after Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua gets done with this place. All right? So with that, all praises, honors, and glories be unto Yahweh Bashem Shabbat Shemar Kodash, double honors to my apostles and elders, very millstone. Peace, blessings to the elect. Shalom.